Good morning, everyone. My name is Kirari COF. I came from Japan a year ago, and today I want to talk about how dangerous a vegan lifestyle is. So, is anyone here vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian? Okay. I was a vegan for a month, and I decided to stop being a vegan because I became an anorexia, which is like losing a lot of weight. And at the time, I thought they should have more problems to being a vegan, so I decided to talk about it. So there are 3 reasons why I recommend you guys to avoid a vegan life. First, vegan will suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency. Second, vegan are more likely to develop mental illness. And last one will be vegan will get muscle weakness. So let's get started. First, vegan will suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 works for making people's brain work. So people, especially students like us, will need vitamin B12. However, vegans cannot get vitamin B12 because it is only found in animal products like pork, chicken, or beef. And according to the article from the Wasino Times by Rick Berman, he states as many as 92% of vegans are deficient in vitamin B12. And he also states lack of vitamin B12 can be increasing the risk of heart disease, nerve dysfunction, and psychiatric disorders. So psychiatric disorders means mental illness. So it can be connecting to my second reason, which is vegans are more likely to develop a mental illness. People tend to think food is not affect to their mental health, but it does. According to the research by Community Medicine at University of Bristol, vegan had a higher depression score on average than non-vegan, and they had greater risk for depression scale scores. And one more example for this is my experience. After 2 weeks from the day I started going vegan, I got scared to go outside and to see others, people. And at the time, I didn't think that is mental issue, but now I understand that was a mental issue. And the last one will be vegan will get muscle weakness. So protein is definitely important for building muscles. However, according to the website Strong Lift, most steak or fish contains 20 to 35 grams of protein per 100 grams of product. But the primary protein sources for vegans are vegetables or beans, rice, which includes 5 to 20 grams of protein per 100 grams of the product. So it means it is difficult to gain protein for vegans. And in conclusion, there are 3 reasons why a vegan lifestyle is dangerous to your body. And if you want to have a healthy body, you better stop going vegan. Thank you.
All right, once more I get to yell at people about putting the word how in front of their proposition, turning it into an informative speech rather than an argumentative speech. Let's avoid doing that and just stick with the claim, which is that a vegan lifestyle is dangerous, not how a vegan lifestyle is dangerous, which then makes it an expository speech. I know what your argument is. You preview it very clearly. I think that's good. I do think that you might want to talk a little bit more about why you think it's necessary to make this argument. Is veganism on the rise? Is it a trend that people are following? Is there widespread information about vegan lifestyles that suggests that this is something that people ought to be doing, and you were basically responding to that need? I think you need to explain a little bit more why this is essential for us to hear this, especially given how few people in class were vegetarians, vegans, pescatorians, and all that other stuff that you mentioned. You didn't have any responses like that, did you? I mean, it was like, so the question then is, well, why are you talking to this particular group? You got to give us a reason to be listening to the argument. It's pretty well organized and structured. It's easy to follow. It's very simple in its presentation, so there's nothing that's problematic. The thing that I think is maybe weak about the speech is that it is a little underdeveloped. I think you've got a good piece of evidence on each of the points, and there's a piece of evidence that broaches from the first point to the second point, so it could be used on both of those points. But it's kind of generic and broad in the way it's describing the problems. There aren't particulars there, and so there's a piece of testimony. It's okay, but it's not necessarily convincing. And I think one of the things that's missing here is sufficiency of your argument. I think some additional information would advance your claim quite a bit. There's nothing, like I said, that's wrong with the evidence that you have. It just feels like it's a little bit thin, and we could use something that's more convincing and more powerful. You do a pretty good job citing the sources in the presentation, so I think you're okay there. There's a little bit more reading than you would like to have. I think you would try to look at us a little bit more, but as I'm listening to you, I think you do a very nice job delivering it naturally. All right, I'm going to stop there. Thank you.